Three things you need to know: Silicon Valley living, housing. Hang on a second. Inventory matters. Housing inventory does matter a lot. We'll talk about that. Talk about seller reluctance and what's going on there. And then um, the last thing is cancellations are not spiking yet. So let's get into it. This this episode is brought to you by Know a Vet. If you know a vet and they're having issues, send them our way over here to knowavet.org. Know a Vet. It's a self-help portal that helps figure out where your problems are, helps you identify what the problems are, how to use the portal. It's not that easy. I mean, it's easy, it's simple. But let's say that you have PTSD and you're anxiety ridden and you don't know how to get help, and the VA's screwing you over or being really slow, suicide thoughts, right? This organization is designed and created by veterans for veterans, and it helps people understand how to get help. Now, if you're a veteran, get the help, right? If you're a family member or a friend and you're seeing a veteran having issues, this also is a place to find out how to get help. And don't think it's just pure self-help. We do have people there that are champions, and they help walk you through the process, point you in the right direction to get you low to no cost help outside of the VA. All right. Okay, let's get into inventory matters a lot. 43% below pre-pandemic levels. I've been calculating it over Santa Clara County, and we're about 35 to 37%, depending on the week, below where we were last year. So inventory is a problem on top of high interest rates. Excuse me, I got the hiccups for some reason. Why is this a problem? Well, first and foremost, it's less to choose from. Second of all, the demand has not really let up. Even though we're at 8%, we're still seeing houses jump in and jump out of the market. There are houses that sit on the market for quite a bit of time, but that's not really the problem. That's based on ego of the seller, price, condition, market conditions, market location, etc. Right? So where we are right here is we're having trouble putting some numbers up. We need to be up here. This is across the United States. If you look at my numbers before, I can tell you specifically that we're about 65 to 70% of where we need to be just in our little county. And we're seeing inventory shortages all across the United States. It's a bad problem. And the reason why is because that's going to keep prices high. A lot of people are asking me, Vito, when are prices going to crash down? Well, we don't know if the prices are going to crash down. And even if it happens in Midwest, it's probably not going to happen in Santa Clara County, right? You see places where we're losing value by the droves, but that's because we had a mass gold rush of people moving out of state or moving into certain areas. Austin, San Antonio, San Francisco has its own problems. Florida, Texas, Arizona, everybody flooded there because they wanted to pay lower taxes, lower cost of living. Totally understand that. Please forgive my tears. I'm not crying. I just put in contacts, and this is literally the third time I've ever put in contacts, and I'm having struggles with it right now. Okay, so a lot of places are seeing decreases in value, but you're not going to see it in San Jose. We saw it yesterday. You still need $373,000 to buy an average house home. People here are, people here can make $1 million to $10, $20 million and buy a house. That's not going to be a problem. They're not going to live in my area. They'll live in other areas. California for sale inventory is a symptom of seller reluctance. And we know this, right? We know that this is an issue all across the nation. It's really happening here in California and specifically San Jose. You look at how low our inventory has been. It's consistently low. We're not spiking. We're not doing anything. This is normal and across the nation were low. When there's low inventory and demand stays constant, prices remain the same or go higher. That's just a part of life. These negatives, that is, see, 34% right there. These negatives are inventory reduction from last year. That's all this is. We have, I hear that there's 1 million realtors going to leave now. I don't know if that's true or not. We're probably going to see another 5% leave the industry. It doesn't mean we're going to be hurting. I certainly am not hurt. I'm busy. I'm gratefully busy. I can't complain, but I've been around for 20 years and I know what I'm doing. Actually, December will make 20 years. The cure for inventory shortage, decreased demand, right? And meeting current demand with new construction. However, new construction is having their own issues, which I've talked about. I've sent out issues on that. So the bottom line, guys, is your inventory is not going to hurt for a while. I mean, it's going to hurt for a while. It's going to be slower to pick up. We're seeing certain parts of the world tick up, but not massively. And we'll go into that with my little charts and my numbers. So just hold tight. If you're looking at buying houses, don't buy the house that's just on the market. Buy a house that's been on the market for a while. And we talk about that in this home buyers workshop. Even if you bought 5 houses, this is a great way to get it back in your brain. If you're a professional investor, right, this is not for you. This is for people that don't do it professionally. You do it every 5 to 10 years, and buying it has a lot of steps in it. You can do it yourself, absolutely, but with the guide of a Sherpa like me and an amazing guy like Scott, we can help you get into a house pretty simply. I did not read anything about that this week. It's been crazy, but I did sit down with the founder of Noavet. I'm getting more involved with them, and the reason why is he's on his last bout with cancer right now. So I'm doing what I can to help him out. And 3 weeks ago, I spent a week with my parents who are ailing and aging. And the one thing that I can tell you, spending that time with them, is be patient with them. Ask them questions. Talk about their youth. Talk about their life, because they're lonely, first of all, but second of all, they cherish the time that they spend with you and get to know them a little bit. And that is the next part of this book. I believe it's going to tell you that you need to go in and start figuring out how to bridge the gaps. We live in a fast-paced life, especially here in Silicon Valley. We're always moving fast. We're always doing 15 different things, carting kids to, events or what have you, going to work, going to lunch, going to this, going to what have you. Your life is just busy, busy, busy. And the next thing you know, it's gone. So be patient. That's the whole reason why I brought this up today. Be patient with yourself. Take a couple steps back. Enjoy your life, because it goes quick. I'm 55 right now, and I can tell you straight up, I'm going through some emotional changes of living life a little bit slower, purposefully, right? Taking the time. I know I have a year and a half left with my girls, my son's in college. I'm spending every second I can to be around them. Because after that, my time's done with them. They're off to college, and then they're going to get married and have kids or whatever, and be in their professional life. And I'll come in, swoop in, ruffle their nest a little bit, and be gone. 2 weeks every couple months, a week every month, and that's pretty much it. The rest of my life is going to be, pretty lonely. That's where it is. What you get for $1 million? I haven't looked at this at all. Let's take a look at San Simeon. 975,000, 4-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,300 square feet, built in 1959. It is in Seven Trees. I think that is, no, that's the shopping. Yeah. So, yeah, $1 million for a house that needs work. Look, it's pretty original. Wow, that is an awesome photograph there, photographer. Nice star. Got a little overhang there. Yep. Things like this is actually good for seniors, believe it or not. They're amazingly helpful to have because moving around when you get older is tough. My dad and the president of Noah Vet walking around with canes and little stroller things, and it's, you know, I get it. You're older and your life is sedentary. I could tell you that getting them out for a walk is probably the best thing for them because it puts them into a mode of getting back into shape, and there's no reason for them to quit. Yikes. Okay. This has been on market 78 days, 975,000, has not moved in price. It's a tiny little lot. There you go. That's what you get for $1 million in Santa Clara County. If you have not done so yet, watch this video, take a look at it, and understand what could possibly happen to your home. It doesn't take me more than 5-10 seconds for me to check on your property, make sure it's still in your name or your trust's name. By the way, get a trust. It's all about making sure we cover you. And part of my job is to educate you on protecting yourself in your coming years, whether you're a first-time home buyer, you're thinking about buying, moving, transitioning, empty nesting. I want to make sure you know what all the opportunities, laws, tax benefits are, etc., but also dealing with insurance. And today at 11 o'clock, I am talking with a gentleman who is the insurance claim guy on TikTok. I met him on TikTok, and I'm excited to talk to him, mainly because he talks about how he can be a third-party negotiator for you to make sure that you have the proper coverage, but also if something happens that you don't get taken by your insurance company. There you go. All right. So find your dream home here. It's onereal.com. You can get to it from any of my blog pages. This is always there. Type in your address, and we can help you find a house and just check it out. Lastly, at 1 o'clock, I'm meeting with a former Marine. I've served with him. He wrote a book called Typhoon Coast, and we're going to talk to him a little bit more about his transition from the military to becoming a police officer and now an author. It's not going to be about the book. It'll be a little bit about the book, but mostly about his transition. So if you know a veteran that's struggling with the transition, becoming a civilian again, if you know a veteran, they probably are struggling. I know it took me 10, 15 years to give up that ghost. Let's have him watch that video and talk more about that. It's also about how he put his energy into writing a book and becoming a businessman and learning how to work with his finances that way. Okay, let's talk about numbers, because numbers are always fun. Remember I told you that we're not spiking? Here's the proof. This is all 11 counties, including Monterey. And you look, there's no spike in collapse or in cancellations. Cancellations are not happening yet. It's typical to see November, December spike up because they're at the end. They're like, get it, my house isn't selling. Let's wait a couple months till March when the selling season happens, and we'll put it on the market then. That's normal, right? See, that's absolutely normal. But we're not anywhere in a spike situation right now. I don't know if you can see that too well. Let's see if I can explode that for you. There. That might be better for you. Yeah, these contacts are killing me. These are just expires. We're not talking about cancellations. I can't find a chart to show you cancellations, but where is it? Did I get rid of it? Maybe I got rid of it. No, I got rid of it. But even cancellations aren't spiking over the last 12 months. You can't see a definitive number, but there you go. All right. thing, let's talk about numbers. Again, you're not seeing any spikes, right? So I'm going to get rid of that. What you're looking for are spikes in these numbers right here, right? And we're not seeing anything. They go up and they go down. 17, 16. These are all the different cities in Santa Clara County. When it goes to blue, they're different cities across the United States. And there's some places that are going up. Cape Coral's going up. LA is going down. So there's not a huge spike anywhere that I'm checking, that I'm keeping track of. The numbers are still really healthy as far as inventory. They're low compared to where we need to be, but I'm not seeing anything go up. I'm not seeing any spikes. So that's where you have to worry about. And all these news articles that you're reading or seeing on YouTube and Facebook, take them with a grain of salt, because at the end of the day, they're really just there to get you to click on it so you can read their article and they can serve you an ad. Right? There are certain areas that are going to see the collapse first, and that's why we're doing this. Keeping an eye on what's going on. Houses will sell. Houses will continue to sell. Even if the market crashed tomorrow, the market will continue to go. There's always going to be sellers and there's always going to be buyers. We're just not at the firestorm that we saw a couple years ago. So there you go. All right. That's it. I was doing the whole events this weekend. I'm going to go see Les Mis this weekend. San Jose State's playing football at the same time. I think it's their homecoming weekend. And that's it. All right. Have a great weekend. I'm Vito with Apatano. We'll see you out there.